Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about having faith in God. In Hebrews 11, verses 1 through 3, it says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance in what we do not see." Faith takes commitment. Can you resonate with that today? Sometimes it's really easy to have faith, to believe that things are going to work out just fine, but other times it becomes really difficult to have that confidence. When we choose to speak life into our circumstances, it can seem like nonsense. Someone can look at you and say, "How in the world do you have a positive outlook on this?" And the only answer for that is, I believe that God is working in my life for good, and I can rest in that. What happens if a financial crisis occurs, or you lose your job, or something unexpected happens? If your faith was in those things, then things look really hopeless. It's not bad to have wisdom and be prepared. Those are good things. But we have to keep in mind that things of this life might fail us. But when our hope is in God, He will not fail us. And He is a solid rock that we can build our life upon. We can choose to see life the way that God does, believing that He's working in things that we cannot even see, and having faith in those things. We can step out and say yes to what God calls us to, even when it doesn't make sense or if it's uncomfortable. And I promise you that when we do that, you will not regret it. So today, as you're on your mat, maybe ask God for a greater faith and to see life the way that He does, that He is working in all things, and that we can say yes to Him and His plans and believe that He's going to work all things out for us. So go ahead and grab your mat and your water, and let's get started. Alright guys, we're going to get started in a simple seated posture on our mat. Crossed at the ankles, hands coming onto the knees, sitting up tall here, rooting through the sits bones. Close the eyes and let's take 3 breaths to begin our practice all together. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, drawing the deep breath in. Open mouth, let it out. Great job. One more deep breath all together. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach it high. And exhale, drop the right hand down to the mat and reach the left fingertips over, opening up through the left side of the body. Inhale, slightly pull that left shoulder back, opening up the chest. Exhale, stretch a little bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale, swing the fingertips around and take a fold down the center of your mat, just starting to bring the chest in towards the mat. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath here. Great job. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands back into the body. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, take the left palm down, reach over with the right fingertips. Inhale, slightly pulling that right shoulder back. And exhale, reach. One more deep inhale. Exhale, swing the fingertips around and take one more fold over the legs. Reaching the fingers just a little bit closer towards the front of your mat, letting the chest come just a little bit heavier down. One more deep inhale. And exhale, plant through the hands and rise up into a tabletop position. Hands coming below the shoulders and knees coming under the hips. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. And warm up the spine with some cat-cow. Inhale, drop the chest low, lift the gaze and the tailbone high for cow pose. And exhale, arch through the spine, chin to chest for cat. Inhale, moving back down into cow pose, opening through the front of the body. Exhale, elongating, opening up the back of the body. Go ahead and take this motion with your own breath at your own pace. Inhaling, exhaling, and flowing from one posture to the next. One more deep inhale. And exhale, come to a neutral spine. Place the left hand in the center of your mat and inhale the right fingertips high, opening up the chest towards the right. And exhale, send that hand underneath the other arm to the other side of the mat, and we're going to take our thread the needle posture. So the right shoulder is planted on the mat, head resting on the mat, and close the eyes in this twist and shoulder opening stretch. Inhale. Exhale, coming a little bit heavier. Great job. One more deep breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, take that right hand back onto the mat. And let's slide the right toes back, pivot the left foot behind the back, and reach around with the right fingertips, getting a side stretch. Inhale, elongating. Exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath in. And exhale, replace the right hand down, right knee comes below the hips. And let's take it on the other side, planting that right hand in the center of the mat. Inhale, the left fingertips high. Exhale, send the left hand over to the right, and take your thread the needle on the opposite side. Resting the head, resting the left shoulder. Close the eyes and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Great job. One more deep breath, coming heavy into your mat. Inhale and exhale. Bring that left hand back under the shoulder. Slide the left foot back. Pivot the right foot behind you and reach over with the left fingertips, stretching out through the left side of the body. Inhale, slightly pulling the left shoulder back. Exhale, reach. Great job. One more deep breath here. And exhale, replace the hand and knee. Walk the hands about a handprint in front of where they are. Drop the shoulders down, keeping the hips high, and find your puppy pose. Inhale into the shoulders and the chest. Exhale it out. One more deep breath in. And exhale, roll onto the forearms. Let the hips come down onto the mat and open up the front of the body. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in here in your Sphinx posture. Open mouth, let it out. Great job. Let's do one more of those deep cleansing breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to bring just the fingertips into the mat and lift up into a baby cobra. So just barely bringing the chest away from the mat and barely putting any weight into the fingers. Really using the core muscles to lift here. Inhale. And exhale, release back down. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift it all the way up into an upward facing dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk out the legs, bending one knee at a time, starting to warm up the hamstrings. And let's hold here for 3 breaths in our down dog. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, coming to stillness with the heels. Maybe they make contact with the mat today, or maybe just reaching. Inhale, spread the fingertips out wide. And exhale, bring the chest a little closer to the thighs. Last breath here. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands back to the feet and come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. maybe grabbing onto the shins or the ankles or the toes, and letting the head hang heavy here, opening up through the lower back and elongating through the spine. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down, slightly bending through the knees. Inhale, reach it up all the way to extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach it high. And exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, plant the hands and walk them out to a plank posture. So the hips are in line all the way through the body from the top of the head to the heels. And we're going to hold here for 3 breaths, engaging the core. Inhale. Open mouth, let it out. Great job, you can do it. Inhale. And exhale, using strength through the arms. One more deep breath in. And exhale, drop the knees down and take a vinyasa flow, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right toes high. And exhale, step that foot in between the hands and rise up into a high lunge. Open up through the chest. Exhale, let the hips sink low. Really taking a deep lunge into the legs. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, drop the back heel down and come into your warrior one. So the hips are close to being square to the front. They might shift a little bit to the left. Fingertips are still reaching high, and we're coming low into that lunge. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, release it out. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale, engaging those legs. Exhale. Great job. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, open up into a warrior 2. Fingertips outstretched to the side, lengthening through the upper body. Inhale, flip the front palm. And exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Inhale, reaching through those right fingertips, open up the right side of the body. And exhale, coming over into a side angle. Here you can either place the right elbow on top of the knee or reach the right fingertips down towards the mat. Left fingertips are reaching high or maybe reaching forward, taking your version of side angle. Inhale. Exhale. Great job. Rise back up into warrior 2. And we're going to take a star pose. So turning the right toes in, reach the fingertips out and away from the body. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly fold down into a wide-legged forward fold. Great job. Hands are either coming onto a block, onto the mat, or maybe grabbing onto the ankles. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands to the right foot and rise back up into your warrior 2. Inhale, extending through the fingertips. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing that right foot. Step the foot back to meet the left, and then drop the knees down. Take your vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to breathe and catch the breath. Maybe again walking out the legs if that feels good, or just finding stillness with the heels. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Inhale the left toes high. And exhale, step the foot in between the hands, rise up into your high lunge. Opening up the chest, let the shoulders come down and away from the ears. And coming deeper into that lunge. 3 breaths here all together. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Inhale through the nose. exhale, release. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, drop the back heel down and come into your warrior one. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, can you sink a little bit lower into your warrior one? One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, open up into your warrior two. Turning the hips over to the right. Inhale, elongating. Exhale, flip the front palm and take it back into your peaceful warrior. Inhale, reaching through the left fingertips. And exhale, bring it over into your side angle, taking your version here. Elbow is either on the knee or the fingertips are reaching down. Right fingers are reaching high. Inhale. And exhale, rise back up into warrior two. Turn the left toes in and find your star posture. Reaching with the fingertips out. Inhale. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, folding back down, maybe grabbing onto the ankles or sending the fingertips through the legs, whatever feels good here, whatever is accessible to you. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands back to the front foot, rise up into warrior two. Inhale, elongating. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down and step the foot back, releasing the knees down. Take your vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And when you're here, go ahead and release the knees down onto the mat and the hips back onto the heels, finding your version of child's pose. So maybe the knees stay together here, or maybe they start to come out wide and let the chest come heavier towards the mat. Maybe the palms are face down, or you start to open up the hands towards the ceiling. Again, letting this posture be a physical reminder to the heart that we can come before the Lord and lay down our burdens and our worries and take up His joy and His peace instead. He has so much to offer us today. If we just come before Him and surrender our hearts to Him. Let's take some more deep breaths here, really allowing that oxygen to come in and restore and refresh our bodies. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out the rest. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, rise back up, swing the feet around, and we're going to come to seated on the mat, giving those knees a hug. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release the back all the way down onto the mat. And we're going to take a long body stretch, fingertips reaching backwards, toes pointed towards the front, getting a long stretch all the way through the fingertips to the toes. Inhale, reaching. And exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, give it a tight hug. And then using the left hand, start to guide that knee across the body, open up the right arm long, and find a supine twist on the right side. Inhale. And exhale, let that knee fall a little bit closer to the ground. One more deep breath in. And exhale it out. Bring the knee back into center, and we're going to switch it out with the left knee. Give it a tight hug into the chest. And then use the right hand to guide the knee across the body. Left arm comes long and the gaze falls to the left. Inhale. Exhale, allow the knee to fall a little bit closer to the mat. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, let the toes come down the mat, arms down by the sides, and find your final resting posture in Shavasana or corpse pose. Closing the eyes finding stillness, finding rest in this posture. As we finish our practice today, I want to leave you with 2 questions to take some time and maybe pray about, or journal about, or just meditate on. Is it easy for you to have faith that everything will work out in the end? How can you speak hope and life over your situations, even if it doesn't make sense to everyone else? God, would you help us to be a people of faith, ones that don't see situations for how they look, but God, seeing through your eyes, seeing the hope that is in you. When we have bad situations come up in our life or unexpected events, help us to not doubt and feel hopeless, but feel excited to see the way that you're going to move in those situations, to see your hand in our lives. God, every day is an opportunity for you to show up and do amazing things in our life. And you always are, Lord, and you always will. God, we give you our lives. We give you our heart. Would you refresh a new faith in us today? We love you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on your mat, and I look forward to seeing you next time.